Alright, so in this video what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a pillar, and it's going to be a super simple pillar that is going to give me some practice on how to use Maya on the interface. Remember that if you click Alt and left click, right click, or middle click, that is going to let you transform the object. So in order to create the pillar, the only thing that I'm going to be doing right now is going to create the cube. Once I have this cube, I'm going to squash it in. I'm going to be creating a cylinder, and with this cylinder I'm going to be making them smaller, then making it larger, and I'm going to be moving this object up. The next thing that I will do is select this thing and say Control W. That is going to Control D. That is going to create a duplicate of this object, and then I will move this thing up. So that is sort of the way that my pillar is looking right now. I'm going to be creating another object that is going to be the sphere. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than the cube, and I'm going to be squashing it in. Then I'm going to be pushing it up, and that is just going to be the base of my pillar. Now, all of these things are completely independent. So if I select this base and I move it to the side, then I no longer have control over what the other parts are going to be doing. So I'm going to rename this thing as base. The cylinder, I can just call it body. I will be selecting the top part, and I will be renaming this top. And the sphere, I don't know, I'm gonna call it base 2. And what I'm going to do is I will middle click and drag on top of the previous object, and that is going to create the hierarchy. So base and top is going to be part of the body. So now with that geometry in place, as soon as I click one of these things, I should be able to move it to the side and whatnot. So for this exercise, it's a good practice to create a new project. Now that I have this scene, I can just go to the project window, and ideally I should have done this before creating the object itself, but I'm gonna hit new, and I'm gonna call this project the pillar. Then I'll save it on my desktop. That's totally fine. And then what I'm going to do is go to File and save this scene as. Now that I'm in this pillar project, I will just call this pillar. So I'm gonna hit save, continue, and that's basically it for this project. So let me minimize this window and show you the new project that I have available, and it's going to be this one. So the only thing that you need to submit for this exercise is going to be the pillar. And on a regular project, I will select everything but the workspace, the source textures, and the scenes, and I will just hit delete, and that is going to let me just compress this file if I want to keep it and have a backup for this thing. The project itself is going to be like 10 kilobytes, but for the delivery of the pillar, I just want the pillar itself. All right, so follow naming conventions. In this case, I will be calling these Bobadilla, and this one is the exercise number 1, if I'm not mistaken. So E01, Bobadilla, L, exercise 01, but follow the naming conventions that you have on your documents. These may vary from teacher to teacher, so this is the one that I'm going to be naming it right now. Okay, so that is it for this video. I will see you in the next one.